Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this video breakdown, I want to show you guys a blitz out of the 46 Bear, and the name of the defense is called Wall Stunt, and as you look at it, you can tell this is a zone defense, and I want to show you how to get pressure coming from the left outside linebacker. So let's go ahead and hop on the field and take a look at it, and as this play, as you're going to see here, you can see it's zone coverage, obviously, and you can tell that you got three defenders playing three deep coverage. So here's your three defenders that are playing three deep. And then underneath those guys, you're going to have three defenders playing zone coverage as well. So those are the three defenders that are playing zone coverage. Now, as you can see, you have six defenders that are playing zone coverage, and then you also have five defenders that are going to be rushing the quarterback. And the five defenders is nice to have, but we can also make this where we can have the zone coverage, add a couple extra guys dropping back in coverage. And that's what I want to show you with this particular defense, so you don't have to have all these guys rushing the quarterback. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and run the play as is. I just want to show you about making any adjustments at all. And also keep in mind here, as we're doing this video breakdown, we're using the I-Form normal curls, like I said, or the I-Form Pro curls. And a lot of time when I do my blitzes, especially in practice mode, this is usually the default offensive play that I use. And the reason is because it sends everybody out, and that way I can get an idea of where the pressure is coming from. And so that's the reason I generally use this particular play. And if it's in the shotgun, I'll find something where everybody goes out. And just keep in mind, if you leave somebody in the pass block, it can alter the way things work. Obviously, though, if they do leave somebody in the pass block, that's one less receiver that you got to worry about dealing with. So that's the nice thing about it. So at any rate, I want to go ahead and just show you how this play works without doing anything at all. And you're going to see that we don't get any pressure, which is unfortunate with this defense. You're just relying on one of those guys to hopefully shed block and get in there. So for me, we have to do something to go ahead and create some pressure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take control of this defender, which is the one I'm in control of. This is going to be the safety right here as you're looking at it. And what I need to do is I need to go ahead and blitz him. So you can see right now he's being blitzed. And then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and bring him up here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and release him, switch to another defender here. So let's go ahead and run it now. And I can tell you right now, just because of this, it's going to go ahead and bring the pressure off the edge coming from this left outside linebacker. So let's go ahead and run it now. I'm just going to do this step by step so you guys can see what's going on with each little step and see why I'm adding extra little things to it as we go. So right there, you can see that that linebacker gets pressure. So at this point, you could run this defense and, you know, you go ahead and get that pressure. Unfortunately, if you do this, you're going to find out that as you look, you're going to see that no one's covering that deep middle of the field, and that's a problem. If the pressure doesn't get home and they send somebody down the seams, and he could end up being wide open, and that's unfortunate there. So let's go ahead and continue to add to this. And the defender that we want to add to our thing right here is this one right here, and you're going to notice this is going to be the middle linebacker. And as you look at it, what he's doing right now, he's dropping into this short little hook zone into this area here. Now, for me, I don't want him doing that. I prefer him to drop a little further back. I don't want him dropping necessarily back into the deep middle and replacing that safety I just moved. But what I do need him to do is to drop back further back. And to do that, there's another adjustment that you can make here as you're looking on your screen here. And it's going to be this middle read right here. So we can go ahead and press down on the left stick here. So let's just go ahead and do that. And you're going to notice now he's doing a middle read. So here's the difference between the two. The hook zone that he was initially drops him back in here. The mid read drops him back right here. And then, of course, the deeper zone that you can't really, I don't think you can do that with him if I remember right. Actually, you can. You can have him in a deeper third, but we're not going to do that with him. What we want is we don't want him dropping back into this area here. We don't want him dropping all the way back into that area there. We want him in the middle of those two. So that's why we're going to go ahead and put the mid zone or the mid read, and you can see right there he's dropping back in the mid read. That way we have somebody dropping far enough back to take away possibly the deep pass if our pressure doesn't get there. Plus, if they throw it underneath, he can get up pretty quick and defend that. So let's go ahead and switch off to another defender so I can let you guys see how this is going to work. And let's just see if we get that edge pressure there. And this time, and I'm going to show you something here why we didn't get that edge pressure, instead why we got the safety pressure there. Let me show you why that is. Okay, so if you go in instant replay, you're going to find that he's lined up about 4.5 yards off the line of scrimmage. And I'm referring to this safety right here. And if he's lined up more than 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, then it defaults to the outside pressure. So the offensive line won't look to block him. No one will look to block this guy right here. Instead, what's going to happen is, because he's 4.5 yards off the line of scrimmage, this guy right here is going to block him. We'll block that left outside linebacker. So now we're going to get inside pressure coming from this guy here because he's lined up 4.5 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's the key to that. So I want to point that out to you as you're following along. If you have him more than 4.5 or more than 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, you're not going to get that pressure. So what you want to do is, to make sure that he doesn't do that, obviously don't go off the line of scrimmage, is get him about right there. Now he's about 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, and he's also turned around, you'll notice. You don't have to have him turned around, but you do have to have him within 4 yards. So that's the key right there. The other thing is, with this guy, let's go ahead and put this guy back into the middle read there. Now this time, I guarantee it, we're going to get pressure coming from the left outside linebacker. So let's go ahead and run it here, and you see this time we get the pressure from the left outside linebacker. All right, so right now we got a pretty good defensive setup. We've got some nice pressure coming off the edge. We got that linebacker dropping over the middle zone there a little bit deeper than what he did with the normal hook zone that I showed earlier. And then finally, we're going to add one more element. Actually, we're going to add a couple more elements to this as we keep going through this breakdown. All right, so this guy here, we're going to go ahead and put him on a blitz, and we're just going to bring him up here, and then we're going to release him. I've already showed that to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in the middle read. And there's that setup right there so far, right? So we're right there right now. Now, the other thing we can do here, if we want, we can go ahead and put this guy, which is this weak side defensive tackle, which is the one I'm in control of right now. We can go ahead and put him into a bluff blitz. And if you look, you'll notice at this point, he's dropping back into the short middle of the field. So now we got this guy dropping back in the deep middle, more of the mid middle of the field. And we also got that defensive tackle dropping back in the short middle of the field. Now we're going to go ahead and stay in control of him, and I'm going to go ahead and run this blitz, and we're still going to get pressure off the edge coming from this guy right here. As you look at it, he's still going to get that pressure. And I want to show you something else as we keep going here. So there we go. We drop him back, and now we're in control of that linebacker, or not linebacker, that weak side defensive tackle. As you were to go into instant replay, let's go into instant replay here. And I want you guys to see this. So keep in mind, I'm in control of this guy right here at this very moment. And what I'm going to do with him, this is the guy I'm in control of right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop him back into the middle, into that short middle of the field, and I still get that pressure off the edge. And you can see the rest of the defense right there. We've got nice coverage everywhere, and we're still getting the pressure on the quarterback. Now, the next thing that we can do, as you're looking at it here, is add another little thing to this, and we're going to keep adding on to this and keep building on this. So first thing you can do, rather than just take control of this guy, you can go ahead and call bump and run coverage, and I want to show you what's going to happen with that. So we're going to go ahead and re-blitz this guy here again, which is that safety. Take control of him, and we're going to go ahead and re-blitz him, as you see on your screen. Bring him up into this area here, switch over to this guy right here, put him in a middle zone, and then switch down to this guy. So now on the outside, as you look, if you want to go with this, is optional. We've got these two guys in bump and run. So it's going to slow down those outside receivers, even though they're in zone coverage. So that's pretty cool right there. So let's go ahead and run it again. And we get that edge pressure, and we're dropping our guy back in coverage as far as that weak side defensive tackle. So at this point, we've got all this going on. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't take very long to set up. Matter of fact, when I get done at the very end of the video, I'll go ahead and set up everything real quick for you guys. I want to go into subs here. I'm going to go ahead and sub out here, or actually go back into the formation. I'm sorry. Let's go back into the formation on the formation screen, or the play screen. And let's go here, because I want to do one other thing here I want to show you. And this is kind of a cool little thing you can do, and you can add on to it. But you got to have a special type of player, one of those X Factor players, to do this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, which is the packages right here, right? You can see where I'm on the screen here. You can go ahead if you want. If you got somebody like Lawrence, DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys, if you got an X Factor at the defensive end spot, in this case he's playing the left end, if you look at it, he's going to be lined up about right here. But by using the package, the defensive swap, we can go ahead and switch him. So now he lines up over here. And now, as you can imagine, because of his X Factor rating, that gives him a chance to get pressure off the edge from the left side of the screen as you're looking at it. And I can't always tell you he's going to get that pressure, but it does allow us to do that. So let's go ahead and hop back on the screen here. And as you're looking at it, you can see now that we have this guy which is Lawrence. He's now lined up at the right end position. So hopefully he can shed block and use his abilities to add a little bit of pressure off the edge over here. And so we get two different guys coming in, hopefully, during this play. I can't promise it's always going to happen, but we get two guys coming in as far as pressure off the edge. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go back to the setup. We're going to go ahead and blitz him, put this guy in the mid read. Then we're going to go ahead and switch to the weak side defensive tackle. And there's that right there. Now, at this point, I don't have bump and run man cover or bump and run coverage called, but I do have everything else set up. So let's go ahead and run it and see what kind of pressure that we get off the edge here. And you can see, again, we get that edge pressure. Now, we're just hoping, like I said, Lawrence is just an extra guy. Hopefully, he can get off the edge. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's no big deal as far as that setup. All right, so let's go through this setup real quick here, guys. Let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to go ahead and call bump and run. We're going to switch over to that guy. We're going to move this guy over. I may need to bring him over a little bit. And there's your setup right there. So that's a pretty quick setup for the most part. You can get the setup pretty quick. And then you're just looking to get that pressure off the edge. So hopefully this is a defense, as I've gone through all the steps to you and trying to explain everything to you that you can do with this particular defense to apply the pressure on a quarterback, still have some decent zone coverage on the process of it. Matter of fact, if you were to look at this, let's go back in here and do this one more time here. Let's go ahead and call bump and run. Go ahead and take this guy. We're not going to move that guy. We're going to go ahead and put him in mid zone. So you can see right there, I'm messing up a little bit with all the different things I'm trying to talk about. So there's that right there. And then we're going to go ahead and put this guy into the bluff. Okay. So you're looking at all this different stuff. Now remember, when we started off with this, we had 6 defenders that were dropping back into zone coverage. So we had, 6 defenders. But now if you look at it, we've got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. So we got all those guys dropping back, and then we should have the other one too as well. And we have, let me go back here and look at them. I know I'm making a mistake as far as who I'm dropping back here. So let's do it one more time. We got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. So we still have the 6 guys dropping back into coverage as far as with 6 defenders. So that's pretty nice as far as with the zone here that we're trying to run. We actually have, those 6 guys, and then we're able to get pressure on a quarterback. So that's the cool thing about this particular defense, that you're able to get all there. And here's that inside pressure. I didn't move him quite in there. So if you want to get the A-gap pressure, it's there. It's just a matter of how far you move up that safety. So just keep that in mind. Let's do one more setup here. So we're going to go ahead and bring him up, put him in mid-zone. Remember, calling bump and run. And then we got this guy right here. So we still have our 6 defenders. We're still getting our pressure on the quarterback. And we're covering pretty much everything that we needed to cover. So that's the nice thing. Plus, as I said earlier, we added that extra X factor there with this guy right here. And so as you're looking at it, we added him in there as far as the X factor, getting pressure off the edge possibly. So that's all the setup right there for this particular defense. Again, I hope this video isn't too long, but sometimes I get pretty winded when I start breaking down these plays, and I get into it quite a bit. And I hope it kind of gets you guys into it a little bit when you guys see me breaking this stuff down. So at any rate, this is the 46 Bear wall stunt. Check it out. Hopefully it's a defense you guys can add to your repertoire as far as blitzes go. Something that I've definitely been running a little bit, and it's gave me some pressure on the quarterback this year in Madden 20. So don't forget to check out the Madden Guides YouTube channel, which is right here. Go to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. If you're not already here, make sure you guys subscribe to it, please, if you're not already a subscriber. And don't forget to check out the Twitter and the Facebook. And also don't forget, on the MaddenGuides.com, we've got a lot of other stuff that might not be posted up on YouTube, because I don't do everything. I don't post videos for every single breakdown that I do. And there's some up there that don't even have videos that aren't on YouTube that you might want to take a look at. So again, don't forget to check out the MaddenGuides.com site.